Hello, mighty companions. This is Earl Purdy, and I want to welcome you to A Course in Miracles. Welcome to A Course in Miracles, a course in right-mindedness. Welcome to the Course in Miracles. I'm Earl Purdy, and we are going to allow ourselves to really hear. Welcome to A Course in Miracles. We're going to do the body as a means of communication. We're going to do the body as a means of communication. We're going to talk about the body. We're going to talk about the body today in A Course in Miracles. We're going to go deeper into the body and what the body means and what the Course in Miracles says the body is. It's on page 151 in the text. We're going to be on page 151 in the text, the Foundation for Inner Peace version of the Course in Miracles. We're going to be in the text on page 151. Welcome to A Course in Miracles. This is Earl Purdy on Facebook Live. So glad to be with my mighty companions today. So, now, if we really want to get this, I want to invite you, if you really want to get what the Course in Miracles is saying, if you really want to open your mind, I've been a student and a teacher of the Course in Miracles for over 39 years. And I want to give you the benefit of that dedication and that commitment to save you some time. Because the ego is so good at taking the Course in Miracles and twisting it, especially with people who are new to the Course in Miracles, so that they will jam themselves up. And the Course in Miracles is not really complicated. The Course in Miracles isn't complicated. The Course in Miracles is actually saying very simple things in a very powerful way. And so the Course in Miracles says, if you really want to get me, if you really want to understand me, the Course in Miracles says you need to remember only this. You need to remember one thing. And think about this, even if you think you've heard me say this 100 times, I want you to take a moment to really, don't treat me like I'm a flight attendant on the airline flight giving you the instructions. I know you've heard it a lot of times if you've been watching me, but take a minute to think about, remember only this. You don't have to believe these ideas. The Course in Miracles says you need not believe these ideas. You need not believe these ideas. The Course in Miracles says you need not accept these ideas. That you need not accept these ideas. It says that you need not even welcome these ideas. You need not even welcome these ideas. The Course in Miracles says that some of these ideas, you may actively resist some of these ideas. You may actively resist some of these ideas. You may actually resist some of these ideas. A Course in Miracles says right at the beginning of the workbook, some of these ideas you will find hard to believe. Some of these ideas you will find hard to believe. Some of these ideas you may find hard to believe. Some of these ideas may seem to be quite startling. Some of these ideas may seem to be quite startling. Some of these ideas may seem to be quite startling. You are not asked to analyze the ideas at all. You are not asked to judge the ideas at all. You are not asked to judge the ideas at all. You are not asked to analyze the ideas at all. Their use will give the ideas meaning to you and will show you that the ideas are true. Using the ideas will show you that the ideas are true, not analyzing it. So as my students know and listeners know, I don't analyze the Course in Miracles. I do not analyze the Course in Miracles itself says analyzation is of the ego. So my classes are not about us analyzing these ideas. It's about hearing what it's saying first, whether we believe it or not, hearing what it's saying first. So on page 151, the body is the means of communication. In chapter 8, the journey back, section 7, the body as a means of communication. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to just read through the paragraph, and then I'm going to go back through the paragraph line by line to make sure that we hear what it's saying. So it says, and here we go, and here we go, and here we go, and here we go. Take a breath. Here we go. Attack is always physical. Attack is always physical. When attack in any form enters your mind, you are equating yourself with the body. Since this is the ego's interpretation of the body to attack with, you do not have to attack physically to accept this interpretation. You are accepting it simply by the belief that attack can get you something you want. If you did not believe this, that attack can get you something you want, the idea of attack would have no appeal for you. When you equate yourself with a body, you will always experience depression. When a child of God thinks of himself this way, as a body, the child of God is belittling himself and seeing his brothers as similarly belittled. Since a child of God can find himself only in his brothers, the child of God has cut himself off from salvation when he thinks of himself this way. Okay, now, one thing you need to remember that would be great to remember about the Course in Miracles is that it's very present oriented. Whenever you have a question about the Course, it will be right there in front of you, right there. So don't try to fit the Course in Miracles into your way of thinking. For a minute, just suspend what you think the truth is and say, I don't have to believe this, I'm willing to hear it. So the first sentence says, attack is always physical. What does that mean? It means that when any form of attack, when any form of anger, when any form of attack enters your mind, whenever you want to kick somebody's butt, whenever you're angry at someone, whenever you're mad at someone, when attack in any form enters your mind, it means you are equating yourself with the body. Whenever you want to attack is physical. And whenever you want to attack, you are equating yourself with the body. So whenever a person wants to attack, they're saying, I am a body. I am a body. I want to attack. I am a body. I want to attack. I'm equating myself with being a body. I'm equating myself with being a body, not an unlimited spiritual being. I am saying I am a body whenever I want to attack. So from a Course in Miracles standpoint, a thought of attack is the thought. The thought of attack is the thought that you are a body. So whenever I think I'm a body, that is attack. Now, whenever any kind of attack enters your mind, which means you are equating yourself with the body, because that's the ego's interpretation of the body. So what is the ego? The ego is the part of the mind that believes it's separate. The ego is the part of the mind that thinks it's separate. The ego is the part of your mind that thinks you are separate. The ego is the part of the mind that has fear. The ego is the part of the mind that believes in fear. The Course in Miracles says there are only two states of being. There are only two states of mind, even though ultimately there's only one, which is love. But to us, there appears to be two states of mind. And that means you have a state of mind of love, or you have a state of mind of fear. And what this just said to us is, when any kind of attack enters your mind, you are equating yourself with being a body, because that's the interpretation of a fearful, separate mind. A person that thinks they are separate, a person that thinks they are a body, their interpretation of the body is that the body is something you can attack with. Just equating yourself as a body is an attack. Now, you don't have to attack physically. You don't have to physically pop somebody in the jaw to accept this interpretation. What interpretation? That the body is what you are, and that your body is something that you attack with. You are accepting that interpretation simply by the belief that attack can get you something you want. If you believe that attack can get you something you want, if you believe going off on somebody can get you something you want, if you believe anger can get you something you want, if you believe that guilt can get you something that you want, if you believe that attack can get you something you want, then you are accepting the interpretation according to course that you are a body. Because a body is for the purpose of attack to an angry, fearful mind. So if a person is angry, who do they use to attack with? They usually use the body to attack with. There's no form of attack that's attack according to the course that is not based on the idea that you are a body and that your body is to be used for attack. So if you believe attack can get you something that you want, you're going to think you're a body. If you believe that anger and attack can get you something that you want, then you are equating yourself with being a body. If you did not believe that attack could get you something that you want, if a person didn't believe that attack could get them something that they want, then the idea of attack would have no appeal for you. You wouldn't want to attack anyone unless you thought attack could get you something that you wanted. You wouldn't want to use a guilt trip on anyone unless you thought a guilt trip could get you something that you wanted. The idea of hurting somebody else, would never enter your mind unless you thought that hurting someone would get you something that you want. Emily, that's right. Attack and anger feed my ego. That's the same as saying attack and anger feed my fear. Don't forget, the ego is just, according to A Course in Miracles, the ego is just a fearful thought. It's just the part of the mind that believes it's separate from God, separate from love. So the ego doesn't exist as some independent entity that's making decisions. The ego is just fearful thoughts, separate thoughts that a person has that they identify with. And what the Course in Miracles said to us is anger would never appeal to a person unless they thought anger could get them something that they want. Attack would never appeal to a person unless they thought attack could get them something that they want. So when you equate yourself with the body, what is it that's going to happen to a person every time they see themselves as a body? The Course in Miracles says you will always experience depression. Now, when is it that you will always experience depression? You will always experience depression when you equate yourself with the body. So depression isn't coming from what the average person thinks their depression is coming from. The Course says we're never upset for the reason we think. So the reason that a person thinks that they are depressed is not the real reason. The Course in Miracles says, doggone it, you're going to be depressed just because you equate yourself with the body. Because a body is fragile, and a body can be destroyed, and a body can be hurt. So the Course says, when you equate yourself with the body, you will always experience depression. And the Course says, when you equate yourself with being a body, you're going to be depressed. That depression comes from what? Depression comes from equating myself with the body. So the next time that you feel like you are depressed, tell yourself, I am equating myself with being a body. I think I am a body. I'm really feeling depressed, not because of what happened at work yesterday. I'm really feeling depressed because I am equating myself, I'm thinking of myself as my body. That's why I'm depressed. I'm not depressed because my mate doesn't seem like they care about me. I'm depressed because I'm equating myself with being a body. The Course in Miracles says that's what causes depression. You follow me? I'm on page 151, section 7, the body is a means of communication, chapter 8 in the Course in Miracles text. If you notice, I'm not analyzing this at all. And everything I'm saying is right here on the page in front of you. Unless you insist on trying to give your interpretations, then what you'll see is right in front of you. Now, when are you belittling yourself according to A Course in Miracles? How can a person tell when they are belittling themselves? The way you can tell when you're belittling yourself is you're going to think of yourself as a body. So every time that I think that I'm a body, I'm actually belittling myself. Whenever I think that I'm a body, I'm really belittling myself. Now, one thing that might come up as I share this with you, it's all of your reasons to defend. You may find yourself wanting to defend the body. You may find yourself thinking that the Course in Miracles is putting the body down. It's not. The Course in Miracles is just telling us what's happening. It's telling us that every time you think of yourself as a body, you're belittling yourself. You're belittling yourself. And whenever you see yourself as a body, you're belittling yourself. And you're also seeing others as similarly belittled. The Course in Miracles says brothers mean a brother is an equal. When the Course says brother, it's not talking about sexual identity. It's talking about the fact that we are equal. The Course in Miracles has its own interpretations of everything. So what you want to do is remember that when you think of yourself as being a body, you're belittling yourself. If you think of me as a body, you're belittling me. You're seeing me as much smaller than what I really am. To see me as a body is to see me as something that's much smaller than what I am. For me to see you as a body is to see you as something much less than what you really are. You are much more than a body. You are much more than your body. You are much more than a body. You are much more than a body. You are greater than a body. You are greater than a body. When you see yourself as a body, you're belittling yourself. When you see yourself as a body, you're belittling yourself. When you see somebody else as a body, you're belittling yourself. Whenever you see yourself as a body, you're going to feel depressed. If you think attack and anger can get something that you want, then the idea of attack is going to appeal to you. Attack is really physical. You cannot mentally attack me. You cannot really emotionally attack me. And the reason why I'm going to tell you you can't mentally and emotionally attack me is because I'm giving everything you say all the meaning that it has for me. So you can call me anything you want to. Unless I give it meaning, it will have no emotional effect on me. So really, you can't emotionally attack me, and you can't mentally attack me, and you can't spiritually attack me, because I'm the one that's giving everything all the meaning it has to me. So you could call me anything you want to call me. I don't have to get upset about it unless I give meaning to it. I give everything all the meaning that it has for me. So you can't attack me emotionally, really. You really can't attack me verbally. You can say words that you think should hurt my feelings, but in the end, I'm going to be the one that gives what you say all the meaning that it has. So what you say can't hurt me unless I give it the power to. But if you took a bat and hit me upside my shoulder, then that's attack. Attack is physical. Attack is physical, and equating myself as a body is physical. It's right there on the page. Attack is physical always. And whenever attack enters your mind, you are thinking of yourself as a body, because the fearful mind, the unaware mind, sees itself as a body. And you don't have to accept He says you don't have to attack physically to believe you're a body. You don't have to be attacking anybody physically to believe you're a body. You are believing you're a body every time you believe that any kind of anger or attack could get you what you want. If you didn't believe anger and attack could get you what you want, then you wouldn't be attracted to anger and attack. Whenever you see yourself as a body, you're going to experience depression. Whenever you see yourself as a body, you're much greater than that, so you are belittling yourself. And if you see everybody else's bodies, you are belittling them also. And since you can only find who you really are in others here, then you cut yourself off from your own salvation and your own peace. If I see you as something that you're not, but seeing you as you are is my healing, then I've cut myself off from my healing, because seeing you as a mind, seeing you as spirit, seeing you as love, that's what's going to heal me. If I see you as a body, and a body that is limited and fragile and little, then I am belittling you, and I am cutting my own self off from my own peace, my own right-mindedness, my own salvation. Kim says, I'm feeling greater than a body today. Greg says, whenever I identify myself to a body, a limit, I'm cutting myself way short of my state of being. John says, I no longer want to attack others because I no longer want to attack myself. I choose to love myself more and more. Kathy says, I give everything it has, all the meaning it has. For me, I need to remember this. Shay says, I am more than just a body and cannot be attacked unless I give meaning to it. Joanne says, I cannot be attacked emotionally unless I give something the power to do so. Emily says, fear of pain and death. Notice that what we are saying is what we need to remember, because the Course in Miracles constantly says, remember, don't forget. Remember, don't forget. So there's not a place in the book that it says analyze this. There's not one place in the Course in Miracles that it tells you to analyze anything. It just says constantly, don't forget, remember this. Don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. All right, so let's look at the next paragraph. First, I'm going to read it, then I'm going to go through it. Remember that the Holy Spirit interprets the body. Remember that the Holy Spirit interprets the body only as a means of communication. The body is a means of communication. The body is a means of communication. The body is a means of communication. Being the communication link between God and his separated sons. The Holy Spirit interprets everything you have made in the light of what the Holy Spirit is. The ego separates through the body. The Holy Spirit reaches through the body to others. You do not perceive your brothers as the Holy Spirit does. You don't perceive others as the loving Spirit does. Because you do not regard bodies solely as a means of joining minds and uniting minds with yours and mine. This interpretation of the body, that it is a means of joining minds, this interpretation of the body will change your mind entirely about the body's value. Of itself, the body has none. Now, that second paragraph was a mother. I'm telling you, that second paragraph was a trip. So let's take that one. Okay, quick review. Attack is always physical. When any kind of attack enters your mind, you're equating yourself with the body because that's the fearful ego mind's interpretation of the body. You don't have to attack physically for you to be equating yourself with the body and believing that attack is physical. If you didn't believe that attack would get you something, if you didn't believe that attack could get you, it's because a person believes that attack can get them something that they want, that people are attracted to anger and attack. Why is it that a person feels depression? A person feels depression because they're equating themselves with the body. That's the real reason people feel depressed. When you see yourself as a body, you're belittling yourself. When you see me as a body, you're belittling me. You can find yourself only in my greatness. I can find myself only in your greatness. So when I see you as a little, fragile, limited body, then I am cutting myself off from the truth, and I'm cutting myself off from the healing that I could, and peace that I could be experiencing with you. Now, the second paragraph starts off with that word that I was just telling you about. Remember, remember. Remember what? That the Holy Spirit interprets the body only as a means of communication. And then the next sentence says, being the communication link between God and his separated sons. So that's a definition of what the Holy Spirit is. The Holy Spirit is the communication link between you and God. The Holy Spirit is the communication link between you and your Creator. The Holy Spirit is the communication link between you and God. The communication link between you and the Creator is called the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit is a communication link. Now notice I'm not analyzing that. I'm not making that up. It's right there on the page. Being the communication link between God and his separated sons. And son means simply mind. So we are just minds that think we are separate, but we're not. So remember what? The Holy Spirit is love. We're only talking about love, and we're talking about fear. So remember that the Holy Spirit interprets the body. It's the same as saying, remember that love interprets the body. And how does love interpret the body? Only as a means of communication. So a loving right mind sees the body only as a means of communication. The body is a means to communicate. The body is a means for us to communicate with each other. The body is the means for us to I'm communicating to you right now through what? The body. Isn't that an obvious truth? The body is a means for me to communicate with you. The body is a means of communication. Love interprets the body only as a means of communication. Then look at the next sentence on page 151, paragraph 2. Being the communication link between love and its separated minds. Because remember, the Course is only talking about love or fear. It's only talking about, so God is love. The Course in Miracles says, being the communication link between God and his separated sons, the Holy Spirit interprets everything you've made in the light of what the Holy Spirit is. So the Holy Spirit, which is the communication link in you, between you and God, interprets what? Everything. So love interprets everything. The Holy Spirit interprets everything. Your inner teacher interprets everything you have made in the light of what the Holy Spirit is. So what is the Holy Spirit? The Holy Spirit is the communication link between you and God. So the Holy Spirit is a communication link. And so the Course in Miracles says the Holy Spirit interprets everything you've made. Everything, even a cake, a pie, everything. It didn't say everything, but it says the Holy Spirit interprets everything you have made in the light or the truth of what the Holy Spirit is. Well, what is the Holy Spirit? The Holy Spirit is the communication link between God and his separated sons. So that means that the Holy Spirit interprets everything as a communication link. The Holy Spirit sees the purpose of everything is to its function. The function of everything is communication. The function of everything is communication. The function of everything is that everything is being used for the purpose of communication. The Holy Spirit sees everything as a means of communication. And I'm going to explain and share with you what the Course in Miracles says communication is, okay? It is his own interpretation of communication. Now, remember, if there would be no point in the Course in Miracles if it was saying things that we already believe. So let's get clear that the Course in Miracles is going to say things that we don't understand and that we may not believe. Okay? The Course in Miracles, you don't have to understand the Course in Miracles. Your understanding isn't a powerful contribution to the truth. Your understanding is not a powerful contribution to the truth. According to A Course in Miracles, your understanding, that's why we're not focusing on understanding. We're focusing on what? Remembering. Remember what? Well, love interprets the body only as a means of communication. Remember what? That the Holy Spirit interprets everything you've made in the light of what He is, and the Holy Spirit is a communication link, so everything in your life and your body is for the purpose of communication. Then it says, the ego separates through the body. Fear separates through the body. The frightened mind separates through the body. The mind that thinks it's separate separates through the body. I'm giving you Course in Miracles definitions of the ego. Guilt separates through the body. Anger separates through the body. Fear, false evidence appearing real. Fear, false evidence appearing real, separates through the body. So what happens when the average person gets angry? They use their body to separate. If I'm upset with you and I want to get away from you, I get away from you by using my body to separate. When I'm fearful and angry and upset, don't you use your body to separate? The Course says the ego, the mind that thinks it's separate, the mind that thinks it's afraid, the mind that wants to attack, that mind separates through the body. Then the next line says the Holy Spirit, which is love, reaches through the body to others. Okay, so a fearful mind uses the body to separate and attack, but the loving mind reaches through the body to others. See, I'm reaching through my body to you. I am not my body. Earl Purdy is not this gorgeous chocolate body. Earl Purdy is the being that is reaching to you, the love that is reaching to you through the body. So love reaches through the body to others. Fear uses the body to separate. Fear and anger uses the body to separate. A person that's in their ego, a person that's in their fear, a person that's in their anger uses the body to separate. The Course in Miracles says the ego separates how? Through the body. The Holy Spirit, which is your loving right mind. What is the Holy Spirit? The communication link between you and God. So instead of saying the Holy Spirit, you could say the communication link between me and God, the communication link between you and God reaches through the body to others. So love reaches through the body to others. Love reaches through the body to others. The Course in Miracles defines the Holy Spirit as the loving right mind, the part of you that's just connected to God and connected to you. And it says that the Holy Spirit reaches through the body to others. I love that. Reaches through the body. Just picture the body and then an arm coming through. The Holy Spirit, love, reaches through the body. I'm reaching through my body to you. I'm reaching through the body to you. You're reaching to the body to me. Okay? So again, what we want to do is remember what we're being told. Remember what we're being told. So what are we being told? That love interprets the body only as a means of communication. That the Holy Spirit is the communication link between you and God. That the Holy Spirit sees everything as a means of communicating. Every single thing that you've made. Then it told us to remember that love reaches through your body to others. Fear in you wants to separate and attack through the body. Then it says, remember that you don't perceive your brothers as the Holy Spirit does. I don't see you the way that the Holy Spirit sees you. The Holy Spirit sees you as only a means of communication. The Holy Spirit sees you only as love. And the Holy Spirit does not see you as a body. We see each other as bodies. We do not, generally speaking, people don't give each other unconditional love. And certainly people don't see the body just as a means of communicating. So the Course, I'm just talking in general here, but the Course in Miracles says you don't see your brothers, you don't see others, you don't see your equals, because brothers mean equals. You don't see your equals as the Holy Spirit does. So I don't see you the way the Holy Spirit, the fear in me doesn't see you the way the love in me does. Keep it simple. The fear in me doesn't see you the way the love in me does. And the Course in Miracles says, because why is it that we don't see our brothers and sisters as love does? He says it right here, because you don't regard bodies solely as a means of joining minds. So the Course says the Holy Spirit sees the body as a way for us to join minds. Love, somebody that loves you sees your body as a way to join minds with you. When I love you, when I see your body, I see your body as a way to join minds. When I used to do was see your body as a way to join bodies and to make specialness for myself. I used to want to join primarily with another body, especially in a relationship, to make myself special. The Course in Miracles says you don't see your brothers as the Holy Spirit does. Why? Because you don't see bodies as a means of joining minds. It's when you see the body as a means of joining minds that you're seeing bodies the way the Holy Spirit does. And not only joining minds, he says, and joining minds and uniting minds with your mind and with the mind of Christ consciousness, the mind of Jesus. So the Course in Miracles says, the Holy Spirit, the love in you, sees bodies as a means of joining minds, and that is what love sees the bodies for. The love sees the body as a means of joining minds and hearts in love and oneness. If I'm looking at you through my right mind, if I'm looking at you through the Holy Spirit in me, then first of all, I'm not seeing you as a body. And if I'm looking at your body, I am seeing your body as a means of us joining minds and hearts with each other. That's what I see when I look at your body. The ones I really am practicing the truth, when I'm really looking at you through the eyes of love, when I'm really looking at you through the eyes of God, when I'm really looking at you through the eyes of truth. When I look at you, I'm regarding your body as a means of joining minds. I'm in paragraph 2, page 151 in the Course in Miracles text. Again, you will see, if you're following along with me in the book, I'm just bringing what it's saying to life to help us remember it. That is my goal as a teacher. That is my goal as a messenger, is to deliver the message. What you choose to do with the message, that's going to be up to you. And there are many different ways for you to hear this message. There are many different questions that can come up. There are many different perceptions you can have of what I'm saying. You can analyze it and drive yourself crazy if you like. That's okay. You're innocent. But remember what it's saying, that the love in you is going to interpret the body only as a means of communication. What else did it say? That the Holy Spirit is the communication link between you and God, and it interprets everything in the light of what it is, and it's a communication link. And so to the Holy Spirit, everything is for the purpose of communication. Then what did it tell us? It says we don't see each other the way that the Holy Spirit sees us. The Holy Spirit sees our bodies. It says the Holy Spirit sees our bodies as a means of joining minds and us all uniting our minds together. That love just wants us to join minds, And then the Course in Miracles says this interpretation of the body will change your mind. So what is the interpretation of the body that will change your mind? How? Entirely. So what is the interpretation that will change your mind about the body? Entirely. What is the interpretation that will change your mind about the body entirely? That your body is a means of joining minds and uniting minds with yours and mine. The purpose of our bodies is for us to join minds and then to join our minds with other minds. The purpose of the body is to use it to communicate, to join our minds and then to join other minds. The function of the body. The purpose, I know that there are a lot of other purposes for the body that we have. I know that there are a lot of things we want to do with the body. That there are plenty of things we want to do with the body. But the Course in Miracles is saying that for love, What love wants to do with the body is use the body as a means of joining love and joining in love and joining minds. That's what the Course in Miracles says. That is what the Course in Miracles says the function of the body is. This function is to be used to join our minds. And it says if you will use that interpretation of the body, what it says is that it will change your mind completely about what? The value of the body. The body is not valuable unless you're using the body with your body is not valuable, truly valuable, unless you are using the body for what the body was meant to be used for. The body isn't truly valuable unless you use it for what it's meant to be used for. What makes scissors valuable is when I use scissors to cut paper. If I tried to use a scissor to bake a cake, the scissors would not be valuable. Scissors are only valuable if I use scissors for what scissors were meant to be used for. Scissors were meant to be used to cut paper. Bodies were meant to be used for joining minds. Bodies were meant to be used for communication. When you use bodies for anything other than that, you lose the awareness of what the true value of the body is. You can use the body for other things. You are innocent if you use bodies for other things because you're innocent anyway. That's the state of your being. But what we want to hear is, what is this today? Today's section is called what? The body as a means of communication. And then what did the Course in Miracles say communication is? It says communication is right there on the page. Communication is joining minds. Just because I'm talking to you doesn't mean I'm communicating with you. Just because I'm using words with the person doesn't mean I'm communicating with the person. The communication doesn't start until we join in oneness. Now we're in communication. We are joined in oneness. We are joined in love. At the point that there's love being communicated, now you have some real communication. Fear, anger, and attack is not communication. That's not using the body for communication. Using the body for communication is using the body to join. Using the body for attack is to see yourself as a body and to see everybody else around you as a body, because at that point, you're belittling yourself because you're much greater than a body. And what is the Holy Spirit? The Holy Spirit is the communication link. So you could call the Holy Spirit. When you say I'm going to give it to the Holy Spirit, you're talking about I'm going to give it to that part of me that's directly linked with my Creator. I want the part of me that's directly linked with love to handle this situation. I want the Holy Spirit to handle the situation. Remember, the ego analyzes. The Course in Miracles says the ego analyzes, the Holy Spirit accepts. The ego analyzes, the Holy Spirit accepts. So if you're analyzing right now, what part of you are you listening to? If right now you're hearing me and what you're doing is analyzing, then you are using your ego to interpret what you just heard. If you are accepting what you just heard, accepting that you're more than a body, accepting that the Holy Spirit is with you, accepting that you want to use your body to join minds, then you are in the Holy Spirit part of your mind. You are in the love part of your mind. Now, you're the only one that can answer that question, because you're the only one that knows right now whether you are focusing on analyzing what you're hearing or whether you're focusing on remembering what you're hearing. If you're trying to remember what I've said, or rather yet, if you're trying to remember what the Course in Miracles said, then you are in your Holy Spirit. If you are busy analyzing, what about this? What about that? 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 But how you do it over there? What do you look over here? That's your ego. Okay? That's your ego. You're totally cute and innocent, but you're in your ego. Okay. The Course in Miracles says, of itself, it has none. It says, of it, the body doesn't have any value of itself. The body doesn't have any value of itself. The body doesn't have any value. In and of itself, your body isn't valuable. If you're not using your body for what it was meant to be used for, then your body has no value. Your body has no real value. If you're not using your body for what it was not intended to be used for, then it has no value. If you're trying to use your car to build a house, then your car doesn't have any value because your car is not going to be able to help you directly lay a brick. Okay? So the Course in Miracles is saying to us that we need to remember that love in you just sees the body as a means of communication, and that's joining minds. That the Holy Spirit, love in you, interprets everything as having the function of joining. It also says that you don't see your brothers and sisters just as a way, and the body just as a way of joining minds and hearts in oneness. We have in the Course in Miracles says, let me break it down for you, that your fear-based mind, your ego, sees everything as a means for specialness. The love in you sees everything as a means for joining in oneness, an inclusive oneness. The ego just looks at the body in terms of specialness and just as a way of getting specialness and a way of having some form of specialness. Wow, 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 wow. It says, this interpretation of the body will change your mind completely about the body's value. What interpretation of the body will change your mind completely about the body's value? The interpretation that the purpose of the body is to join minds and unite them with yours and mine. So, I want you to take a breath right now. Take a breath right now. And then we're going to go to paragraph 3. We're going to go to paragraph 3. Paragraph 3. Let me see your comments here. Greg says, do not interpret through ego, which is form. Joanne says, ego analyzes, the Holy Spirit part of my mind accepts. Emily says, my ego is out of control. So when you say my ego is out of control, that's the same as saying my fear is out of control. That's the same as saying that my belief that I'm separate is out of control. That's the same as saying the guilt in my mind is out of control. Kim says, referring to my Holy Spirit, my inner middleman. That's right. That's a great way to look at it. Kathy says, Bridget says, extending love. Whenever I want to use my body to extend love, to extend truth, to extend oneness, to join minds, then it's going to change my interpretation of my body's value, because now my body is extraordinarily valuable, because if I didn't have a body, I couldn't communicate with you. We are so unaware that our minds are joined. We're so unaware of our oneness that we need bodies to communicate with each other, which is a sign that we've forgotten who we are. The mere fact that we have to use bodies to communicate means that we've forgotten that we are one mind that's joined. So what would be the best use of the body? The best use of the body would be to use my body to communicate with you, for you to use your body to communicate. But then what does communication mean? Well, it says communication means to join minds. So I'm not really communicating until I'm joining with you. I'm not really communicating until we are joined, or we're using our bodies to join minds, where we like to use our bodies to join bodies. That's not a sin. It's not a sin to use the body to join bodies. You're not being condemned because you might want to use your body to join with another body. That we're not even talking about that. We're not even concerned with that. You know, the body is neutral. You can use it any way you want to, but you're either going to use it to join, or you're going to use it to separate. You're going to use it to attack, or you're going to use it for peace. That's what the Course is telling us. And that the Holy Spirit, which is a direct communication link between us and God, regards the body only as a means of joining minds. But he says, but we don't see it that way. And then it told us that if we were to see the body as a means of joining minds, it would completely change our mind about the value of the body. That's what, Greg, you're very welcome. I'm glad that I'm communicating with you and you're communicating with me. So let me do one more paragraph here. All right, here we go. This is helping me out so much. I don't know how. I hope it's helping you as much as it's helping me. But I'm really hearing this. And it's very simple, but it's very powerful. Very powerful. Don't you agree? Don't you think that this is simple but powerful? And remember what? You need not believe it. You need not accept it. You need not welcome it. Some of it you may actively resist. Some of it you will find hard to believe. Some of it you will find startling. You are not asked to judge it and analyze it at all. If you use these ideas, you'll see that they're true. If you use it, you will see that it's true. So here we go. Paragraph 3. Now, you know me, I got to jam some. I'm sorry. That's what time it is. If you use the body for attack, it is harmful to you. If you use the body only to reach the minds of those who believe they are bodies and teach them through the body that they are not bodies, you will understand the power of the mind that is in you. If you use the body for this, for what? Teaching others who think they are bodies that they're not bodies. And only for this. You cannot use it for attack if you are using the body to join. In the service of uniting, the body becomes a beautiful lesson. In the service of uniting, the body becomes a beautiful lesson in communion, a beautiful lesson in joining, which has value until communion is, This is God's way. This is God's way. This is God's way of making unlimited what you have limited. This is God's way of making unlimited what you have limited. The Holy Spirit does not see the body as you do. Love does not see the body as you do. Because Holy Spirit, love, knows the only reality of anything. The only reality of anything is the service it renders God. The only reality of anything is the service it renders God. The only reality of anything is the service it renders God on behalf of the function God gave it. All right, here we go. That's right, Demola. The body becomes a beautiful lesson in union when used for the Holy Spirit's purpose. That's right, Greg. I'm using your body to communicate love and innocence to me, Earl. Did I get that right? You got it right. That's right, Emily. There's only one reality. That's right, Reed. It is true but uncomfortable. That is exactly right. All right, here we go. Third paragraph. The last paragraph I'm going to have time enough to do today, but I'm going to do a quick recap of it. So, now, if you use the body for attack, it's harmful to you. So what is the Course's definition of something being harmful? Well, from a Course in Miracles perspective, if something is harmful if you use it for attack. Then it says, if you use the body only to reach the minds of those who believe they are bodies and teach them through the body that they aren't bodies, then you will understand the power of the mind that's in you. So how do you understand the power of the mind that's in you? How do you understand how much power your mind has? It says it right there. The way that you come to know how powerful your mind is to reach people who believe that they are bodies and demonstrate to them that they're not bodies. You demonstrate to them that they are not bodies by using your body for what? Communication. So I am using my body to tell you that you are not a body. I'm using my body to tell you that you are not a body. And so I'm getting in touch with the power of my mind. So if I want to know the power of my mind, I use my body the way I'm using my body right now, which is I'm using my body to teach and to say to those who may think that they are their bodies, that they're not a body. But I demonstrate that through me not thinking that I'm a body, and then I'm using my body to join minds. So when I use my body, when I'm putting the emphasis on our minds joining, more so than I'm putting the emphasis on our body joining, I'm going to discover the power of my mind. It says right here, if you use it only to reach the minds of those who believe they are bodies and teach them how through the body that this is not so. So what is it that I'm teaching people that is not so? That they are. That I'm going to teach you that you're not a body. I'm going to deal with you as if you are not just a body. That you're just something to attack or to be attacked. The Course in Miracles then says, if you use the body for this, for what? For joining minds, for teaching those, for reaching the minds of those who believe that they are bodies and teaching them that they're not bodies. If you use the body only for what? Reaching the minds of those who believe that they are bodies and teach them through the body that this is not so. If you use your body only for this, only for what? Reaching the minds of those who believe they are bodies and teach them through the bodies that this is not so. You cannot use the body for attack. So if a person wants to not use their body for anger and attack and harm, what do they do with their body? They use their body to reach the minds of those who believe they are bodies, to teach them through the body that they're not bodies. I want to never attack you again, to never hurt you, to never be harmful to you. How am I trying to do that? I'm trying to do that by using my body as a means of communicating to you, to teach you and to share with you that you are more than your bodies. And in doing that, I will discover the power of my mind. And also, I won't be using my body for attack if I do this. So I'm not using my body for attack while I'm teaching this class. I'm really using this body right now to increase my awareness of the power of the mind. And then the Course in Miracles says, in the service of uniting. See, that's what the body is supposed to be used for. Not just for uniting body to body, but for joining minds in love, in oneness, in truth. That's what I'm supposed to be using my body for. Then he says, in the service of uniting, the body becomes a beautiful lesson. The body should become a beautiful lesson in communion, which is a beautiful lesson in love, which is a beautiful lesson in freedom, which is a beautiful lesson in abundance, which is a beautiful lesson in joining. I want my body to be a beautiful lesson. I want my body to be used in a beautiful lesson for joining. I want my body to be used as a beautiful lesson in joining. My body is a lesson in joining. I'm using my body for a lesson in joining. That's what's happening right now. Am I not giving a lesson? And isn't it a lesson in joining, a lesson in communion? So I'm using my body correctly right now. I am using my body correctly right now. You are using your body correctly right now. You're using your body for what your body was meant to be used for. You are using your body to join minds with me. We're using our bodies to join minds with each other. We're actually using our bodies the way that the Holy Spirit wants us to use our body. That's what we're doing right now. We're actually using our body correctly, which would help us recognize the power of our mind. So we're using our body, he says, in the service of uniting. We're using the body right now in the service of uniting. And so it becomes what? A beautiful lesson in communion, which has value until communion happens. We're using our body to join. When we truly join, we really won't need the body anymore. When you use a jack to change a tire, once you have the tire changed, you put the jack in the trunk. You don't keep thinking about the jack after you change the tire. So you won't keep thinking about the body after you join minds in love and oneness. Because the purpose of the body was to get us to the point that we join minds in oneness. And so then the Course in Miracles says this is God's way of making unlimited you what you have limited you. So this is love's way. It says this is God's way. So this is love's way of making unlimited what you have limited. The Holy Spirit does not see the body as you do. The loving right mind does not see the body the way a fearful, wrong, separate, guilty mind sees the body. Love doesn't see the body the way fear sees the body. A loving mind doesn't see the body the way a fearful mind sees the body. An innocent mind doesn't see the body the way a guilty mind sees the body. Love doesn't see the body as you do, because love knows. What is it that God knows? What is it that the Holy Spirit knows? What is it? That's right, Barbara. It's a beautiful lesson in communion. That's what you are. You are a beautiful lesson in communion for me. And I love you very much. I appreciate all these loving parts of myself right now. So the Course in Miracles says, using the body in the service of uniting makes the body a beautiful lesson in communion. Then it says that the body has value until the actual joining and communion is. This is God's way of unlimiting what you have limited. The Holy Spirit doesn't see the body as you do. Love doesn't see the body as you do, because love knows, God knows, the Holy Spirit knows the only reality of anything is the service it renders God. So nothing is any realer than the service is rendering God. You are no more real than how much you render a service to love. You are no more valuable than you are loving. If you aren't loving, you aren't valuable. If you aren't extending love, what's your point? Why are you in existence? Why are you on the planet? If you're not extending love or truth or oneness or unity or joining minds, the Course is saying that's the only value anything has, is how much it's allowing itself to be used for love. And the Course in Miracles then says the Holy Spirit doesn't see the body as you do, because the Holy Spirit knows the only reality of anything. The only reality of anything is what? The service it renders God. What kind of service? On behalf of the function God gives it. So I am no more valuable than the service I render God, fulfilling the function that God created me to fill. I'll say it one more time. The Holy Spirit does not see the body as you do, because the Holy Spirit knows the only reality of anything, including the body, is the service it renders love on behalf of the function that love gives it. I am no more valuable than how much I'm being willing to use for the function of love and the function of light and the function of healing. My body is no more valuable than I use it for the function of love and joining minds and uniting minds. So right now, my body is so valuable to me, because right now, without this body, I could not communicate with you. So this body right now is actually being used for what this body was made to be. I put it this way. This body is being used the way that the Holy Spirit wants me to use the body. The body was originally projected and made for separation. At first, my fear, guilty-based mind created the body as a means for me to be separate. Now, the direct link between me and God, the Holy Spirit, is teaching me to use my body that I originally made for separation, to use that body for joining minds and joining minds in love. And so that's what makes it valuable. When I'm using my body in the service of uniting, in the service it renders God, then that's when it's truly going to be healed. That's when it's truly valuable. That's how I make the limited unlimited. Okay, take a breath. Take a breath. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. So we can't walk away and say that we do not know what the purpose of the body is. We know that the purpose of the body is to join minds. So I'm going to do a quick recap of those paragraphs. And I want to thank you for watching and tuning in on this live Facebook Live broadcast. Please share it on your timeline. Please share it in your groups. I'm a full-time teacher. This is what I do in the world. This is my teaching ministry that the Holy Spirit so beautifully, beautifully blessed me with. if you like to make a financial expression of appreciation, then I would truly, truly appreciate that. And just go to my website, www.earlpurdy.com, earlpurdy.com. And you could make a financial expression of appreciation there. Or if you want to use Venmo, then my email address is earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. I'm available also for one-on-one sessions using the Course in Miracles and all the metaphysical teachings I've studied over the last 40 years and my knowledge of astrology and numerology, which is extraordinarily helpful. I call them clarity sessions, You can book right online. Go to my website, earlpurdy.com, and read all about it. And please sign up for my contact list. Please sign up for my contact list so that you can be made aware of the many things that I'm going to be doing so that we can join, okay? Thursdays at 7 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time, Hardcore Course in Miracles here on Facebook Live. 7 o'clock Mountain Time on Tuesdays, The Way of Mastery. And then on Sundays at 1 p.m., A Course in Miracles Mountain Time on the Earl Purdy page on Facebook. And if you don't have Facebook, just go to this link, www.facebook.com/Earl Purdy Live. So if you want to watch this and you're not a member of Facebook, go to www.facebook.com/Earl Purdy Live. Use that Earl. Okay, use that Earl from Earl. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Good to see you online, John. So let's do a quick review. Now, we're supposed to remember that only attack is physical. And that whenever you want to attack, that means you are equating yourself with the body. And that's your ego's interpretation. The fearful mind's interpretation of the body is that the body is for some form of attack. You only want to attack. Do you know that a person only wants to attack if they think attack can get them something that they want? So if you want to stop attacking, tell yourself, attack won't get me what I want. Attacking them will not get me what I want. Attack will not get me what I want. That's how you stop the attraction of attack. You say, anger will not get me what I want. Attack will not get me what I want. Guilt will not get me what I want. Fear will not get me what I want. Believing in lack will not get me what I want. Then it says, whenever you equate yourself with the body, you're going to feel depressed. Whenever you think you're a body, it's going to depress you because you know you are more than a body. You're not a body, you're free. You're not a body, you are free. You are more than a body, you are free. You are more than a body, you are free. When you think of yourself as just being a body, when you think of yourself as just being a body, when you think of yourself as just being a body, you are belittling yourself. And when you think of others as just being a body, when you think of others as just being a body, you are also belittling them. And since you can find yourself only in the greatness of your brother or sister, then when you see them as a body, you're cutting yourself off from the healing that they could give you, from the peace and the truth that they could give you. Then it says in paragraph 2, there's something you need to remember. What is it that you need to remember? You need to remember that love interprets the body only as a means of communication. And communication means to join minds. So the Holy Spirit in you sees the body only as a means of communication, which is joining minds. So what is the Holy Spirit? The Holy Spirit is the communication link between you and God. The Holy Spirit is the communication link within you between you and love. The Holy Spirit is the direct communication link within you between you and God. And guess what? So the Holy Spirit interprets everything that you have made as a means of communication and joining. So the Holy Spirit is going to use everything you've made. It says everything you've made. That could be every relationship you've made, every physical situation you've made, every circumstance that you've made. The Holy Spirit is going to use it. The Holy Spirit is going to use it as a way of joining minds and joining hearts in love. Now, the ego, the separated part of you and me, the fear and guilt in you and me, it wants to use the body to separate and wants to use the body to attack. The love in you, the Holy Spirit, the love in me reaches through the body to others. And the truth is, I'm going to tell the truth, I don't see you as the Holy Spirit does. I don't see you as only in your body, only as a means of joining minds. I still come up with some other things I want to do with bodies. So I'm going to admit that I don't see my brothers as the Holy Spirit does. I don't regard bodies just as a way of joining minds. Not yet. Readiness is not mastery. That's why I'm in this process, so that I can learn how to use the body for joining hearts and minds on a regular basis. So what do you do? What do you do if you want to change your mind entirely about the value of the body? Because the body really doesn't have any value in and of itself. So what will change your mind entirely about the body's value? If you will regard the body as just a means of joining minds, then it will change your mind entirely about the body. And it will also make the body healthy. The body becomes more and more healthy when the body is used for what the body was meant to be used for. If you use the body for attack, then the body is going to be harmful to you. Then it told us that if we use the body to reach the minds of those who believe that they are bodies, to tell them that, and to teach them that they're not bodies, it says then you're going to understand the power of the mind. So if you want to understand the power of the mind, how do you understand the power of the mind? You understand the power of the mind by using your body to reach the minds of those who think they are bodies, to teach them and demonstrate that the body is a lesson in uniting and the body is a lesson in joining minds. And if you use the body only for joining minds and hearts, then obviously you're not using the body for attack. So then your body becomes a beautiful lesson in communion. Your body is a beautiful lesson in joining in love and a beautiful lesson of joining minds. Now that's God's way of making unlimited what we have limited. The Holy Spirit doesn't see the body as you do. The Holy Spirit doesn't see the body as you do. Love doesn't see the body as you do. Because you see, the Holy Spirit knows that nothing is any more real, nothing is any more valuable than the service that it renders God. Nothing is any more valuable than the service that it renders love. The body is a means of communication. The body is a means of communication. So I want to complete this by us saying this together. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. Take a breath, let's say that. You ready? I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. So, are you ready to do it with me? Let's take a breath. Let's say it. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. You are not a body, you are free. You are still as God created you. You are not a body, you are free, for you are still as love created you. You are not a body, you are not a body, you are free. You are free. You are still as God created you. And that's the truth about you. So now you know what it means to have the body as a means of communication. Don't analyze this. Don't analyze this. Go, can I remember what Raj and the Holy Spirit through Raj and what the Course in Miracles taught me? Can I remember this? Can I remember that my body is a means of communication for joining minds with mine, and the mind of Jesus and the mind of all great spiritual masters and the mind of each other? Can I remember that when I see myself as a body, I'm going to experience depression because I'm belittling myself when I just see myself as a body? It's not putting down the body. As a matter of fact, it's saying, why don't you use the body for what it was meant to be used for? And the correct use of the body is to use the body to reach others who think they're bodies, to teach them through your body that they are more than a body by joining with them. Joining with them, uniting minds and hearts with them. Use your body to join minds. 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 Use your body to join the heart. Use your body to join minds. Yes. I appreciate you, Miss Barbara. So good to see you online. All of my mighty, mighty, mighty companions. You have helped me so much. You have no idea how much I needed to hear this today. So you're welcome, Emily, may the course be with you. Mwah. See you next time.